Alright, welcome back. I wanted to do an update on my folding knife collection and my pocket knife collection. Wouldn't say I'm a collector as such, but I do have a collection of knives, pocket knives. I'm more into fixed blades at the moment just because I mainly do throwing, but I always like to have a folding knife on me most of the time. Now, as you can hear from my accent, I'm actually from the UK, so a lot of these knives I've got here I wouldn't legally be able to carry with me. So we can only really carry slip joint knives. I've got a couple of those. I'll show you. Because we live in a fucking nanny state in this country, you can't do anything. Anything fun is illegal. Anything interesting is outlawed. It's yeah. Anyway, I won't go on about it, but yeah, it's a shame really because I've got some good knives here, but if I walk around with them in my pocket and get busted by the police, then they throw you in jail now, so not really worth it. But I do use them quite a lot for various other things. I use them around the house and things like that. I picked up couple of new ones recently, which is what prompted me to do this video. So I'm just going to run through them real quick. I always enjoy watching other people's collection videos, so I just thought I'd do one. People might enjoy it. So yeah, I'm filming this on my phone one-handed, so I'll only be able to pop the blades out of the ones that I can do one-handed. So apologies for that. But anyway, you'll get the idea. So let's start here then. This will be familiar to a lot of people. Leatherman Bond. Really love this. Picked it up for a good price fairly recently. I've always wanted one. I've always carried a Swiss Army knife here. But I wanted one of these just for the pliers mainly. But the knife on it is pretty good. And I found myself using it a lot. I carry it everywhere with me. Same with my Swiss Army knife. I carry them both with me everywhere I go. So yeah, I'd say I'm pretty pleased with that. It was a good addition to the collection, or not my collection, but like if I say it's not a collection, I feel better about myself because it's kind of spiraling a bit. I was only originally going to get a couple, and you all know what it's like. So I'm in good company. Anyway, next up is my penknife, my Swiss Army knife. I've had this particular one for absolutely yonks. I've changed the scales on it. It's these sort of ones I got off Etsy. I think it's supposed to be a claymore, like the design of a claymore mine. It's pretty cool. They actually feel really nice. They're fairly cheap. I mean, they weren't expensive. It looks pretty cool. Does the trick. I think a Swiss Army knife is essential. Basically, everyone should carry one of these. I use this every single day. The toothpick, the tweezers, you name it, I use it. So I would never be without this. It's easily, probably, I could get rid of all of these knives and just have this and it would be fine. These two really are my daily carry, or EDC if you want to call it that. That's all I need. I do have this pruning knife. I'll attempt to get the blade out on that quickly for you. Just film over there. So this is a slip joint. So this is a Victorinox pruning knife. I've had this for a little while now. I absolutely love this knife. I love the shape of the blade. I've done a whole video on this knife, so I won't bang on about it, but it's just excellent. It's really good. It's very sharp, holds an edge well. The blade shape is really good for opening parcels or cutting, like doing food prep, anything really. I carry this with me pretty much everywhere. Even if I've got these two on me, I'll still have this as well. So I guess these three are my essentials, if you want to call them that. Yeah, brilliant knife, highly recommended. All right, now we move on to the proper stuff here. Okay, so first up, we got the Bird Robin, I think Robin 2, I think this is. So this is the all black version. I just bought this because it was super cheap on Amazon. I had a voucher and I got it for like 25 quid. And at that point, I didn't have a Spyderco, so I thought, oh, it could be my sort of gateway into Spyderco. I've since got a Spyderco. But this is brilliant. You know, I enjoy using this. It's very small. You know, I suppose you could say it's got limited application, but it's pretty slicey. The blade is really thin. And it's just a nice knife to have on you. Very small. It just, you know, disappears into your pocket if you know. And yeah, it's great little knife. I really like these, and the price of them is incredible, really, for what you get. I mean, I didn't have a Spyderco. I've got one now, but if I comparatively, yeah, okay, you can kind of feel the difference in quality to an extent. But this is, for the money, I think this is unbelievable value, really. I mean, that's metal scales there. It's all stainless steel. Backlock. I mean, it's made in China. But, you know, is it a massive jump from this to a Spyderco? If we're being honest, I personally would say not. But you may have a differing opinion on that. Share it in the comments. Okay, next up, Camillus. Now, these guys don't have a great reputation. I've had this knife for yonks. I bought this before I was even into knives. I didn't even know who Camillus were. This knife is awesome. I've sung its praises in the past. I'll continue to sing its praises. This knife is just brilliant. I've had this for years. I use it for all kinds of stuff. It's never let me down. It feels good. I mean, I don't know. There's not much else to say about it. They're just brilliant knives. They've shot up in value. I've noticed, you know, inflation, not on the second-hand market, but I think I got this relatively cheap, but they're pretty pricey now, I've noticed. But they are worth it. They are great knives, and if you're a Tanto fan, it's just such a cool looking blade. But I could recommend these, you know, really fantastic knives for the money. Can't go wrong there. Right. The next few will be very familiar. This is I kind of got into Benchmades recently. I got some good deals, and I don't know. I know I keep saying I'm not a collector. I may collect Benchmades only because I really like them. Simple as that. I think they're brilliant knives. Yeah, they're overpriced, of course they are, but come on, we all love Benchmade. Anyone who says they don't, I think, is lying. They're just such great knives. This was my sort of gateway into Benchmade, the Griptilian. I've had this for years and years. This was my first proper lock knife. Brilliant. I've used this today. You can see it's all scratched up from where I've been sharpening it without knowing what I'm doing. But, you know, this is the old 154 cm version. But I use this all the time. I love this knife. I'd like the full size version. I do plan to get one at some point. But to be honest, this is kind of the perfect size anyway. I just adore this knife. I think it's fantastic. This was one of my recent purchases. This is I always get them mixed up. 945, is it? Or the 940? One of the two. Anyway, I got this secondhand for a really good price, and I've always wanted an Osborne. It's the mini one. Now that I've got this, I kind of wish I had held out for the full size version. It's a little bit too small. Feels nice, and I do really like it. I like the blade shape. But yeah, I don't know. Especially, I mean, these are the same size. I did a video on this as well, comparing them. They're the same size, but because of the handle, this one just feels so much more substantial. This just feels, I don't know, there's nothing there, you know. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I love the knife, but I think I like the full size version, and I'll probably track it down at some point. But I do use that a fair amount, so yeah. Anyway, this, you'll all know, is the Crooked River. This I bought totally on a whim off of Amazon, because on Amazon in the UK, they don't have a lot of Benchmades, but what I've noticed is a lot of people seem to return them. They buy them and then return them like brand new. So then they sell them secondhand, effectively for sometimes 40 or 50% off. This one I got for an amazing price, brand new. Just someone had returned it, and I just had to do it, basically. I love the knife. This is probably one of my favourites. I just love the size of it, the way it feels. It's just awesome. Great knife. The trouble is, now that I got this, because it's the full size version, it makes these smaller ones seem even more sort of pointless, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Benchmades. I've definitely got my eye on a few, but I'm only going to pick them up if I get them at a decent price, because, you know, they are very expensive, as you all know, and the deals do come along on them, especially second hand. So I just wait and just pick them up every now and again, I think, whenever they become available. And last but not least, my only Spyderco currently. This is one I've had my eye on for a long time. I like snorkeling and diving. Snorkeling, not diving, really. When I go on holiday, and I wanted one of these salt knives that I could take with me. You know, just to have, I'll get a lanyard for it, just to have it on my wrist or something, just that I can take with me just in case I need it. So I've wanted one of these for ages. I got a great deal on this recently from a Polish website that I use to order my knives from, and I couldn't really resist. So yeah, now I've got one of these. Much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be quite small. Like, the handle is brilliant. It feels great. I mean, it's quality. You can feel the quality. It's Japanese made. Because I don't really know much about the Spydercos, I used to see videos of people, you know, going on about how great they were, and I was never really into them. But now I've got one. Oh, I don't know. I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole of picking any more up, if I'm honest. But they are really nice, I have to admit. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Anyway, there we go. That's the collection as it stands in 2025. I'll say it one more time. I'm not a collector. I never really plan on getting any more knives, but I'm also a sucker for a bargain. You know, if I see any more Benchmades going for a good price, I'll definitely pick them up. Likewise with the Spyderco. So I don't know. I guess I am going to be a collector at some point, if not already. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Any comments, put them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, yada yada yada. I'll see you in the next one.